and the mountain smoking, volcano erupting. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. When they seen all these things happening, they removed, ran back. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou unto us, and we will hear. Let not the Most High speak unto us, lest we die. So what's that? He brought fear in them. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, don't be afraid. So a lot of y'all think that fear doesn't mean be afraid. That fear means be afraid. He said, Fear not, for the Most High has come to prove you. And that is fear, maybe before your faces, that you sin not. See? That's why you look at when disasters happen. You know, you get a feeling of, whoa. I don't know if y'all been in disastrous situations, but it make you feel a certain way. And you get jacked up, you be thinking, wow, man, what did I do? Most High, you know, why am I going through this? What happened? You know, you should repent. Regardless, when you see these things happening, more and more and more, as the day approaches. This day is coming. But you see how people were, they were afraid when they heard all that. So we don't even want to even hear the Most High. It was an angel that was speaking to them. You read Exodus the 3rd chapter, the 2nd verse. Mashiach Yahushua always been dealing with us. You understand? As an angel. Here. Showing the power of the Most High. The Most High bring forth the thunder. We just reading about him bringing the thunder and the lightnings and the volcano erupting and so forth. We done read about this so far. People seeing all that, they were afraid. Oh yeah. Matthew 24 and 27. Matthew 24 and 27. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the Son of Man be. I mean, letting you know he coming from the east to the west. For whatsoever the carcasses is, there will the eagles be gathered together. That you know, them eagles, I mean, there will the eagles be gathered together. Wherever the carcass is, gonna be a whole lot of dead bodies. There the eagle's gonna be. Who's that eagle? Obadiah. Go to the book of Obadiah. The book of Obadiah. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, the Edomites, the vision of Obadiah, thus said the Most High power concerning Edom. Verse 1. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars with a space station, thence will I bring thee down, said the Most High. So he's saying, in verse 28 of the 24th chapter of Matthew, for wheresoever the carcass is, I mean a lot of dead people, dead bodies, there will the eagles be gathered together. They'll be gathered together. To hold on to their stronghold. It's going to be brought down. And so I said, thus will I bring you down. Psalms 18. Psalms 18. See, everything is in this Bible. It's a book of life. Psalm 18. And I tell anybody to go to another book and bring out whatever it is, topic that is of this world. It's all here. It's in this word. Psalm 18, all praise the Most High. Psalm 18 and 13. The Most High also thundereth in the heavens. Hear that? The Most High also thundereth in the heavens. And the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Hell, now he's talking about hell. Hailstones and coals of fire. Yeah, he sent out his arrows and scattered them. I mean, they go in different places. Scattered them. And he shot out lightnings and discomforted them. See? This is what the Most High does. Then the channels of waters were seen. Different channels of water seen. And the foundations of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Most High, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. See what he says? At the breath of his nostrils. Just blowing and just cause this to happen. You gotta understand, we talking about the sea, the rivers, lightnings, channels of waters, foundations of the world were discovered at his rebuke, at the blast of the breath of his nostrils. The breath of his nostrils. That ain't from your mouth. That's just from, just blow out of your nose so you get the idea, the power of the Most High. And the ocean is rising up and just destroying things. And the rivers are just overflowing, just flooding everybody up. Just from the breath of his nostrils. Now how you, that's why I say, what house can you build me when the Most High can say, and everything to get destroyed? Come on. Can you see something like that? No, you can't even imagine that. That's our power. You just sit there and do that and think about it. He does that and everything is moved. All the things, all the destruction that you see happening on the earth happens when he just says, blow out of his nostrils. The blast of his nostrils. I mean, it is what it is. It ain't, I mean, many times, I mean, even when people, when they die, you know, look at Job 4 and 7. Remember I pray thee, Job 4 and 7. Whoever perished being innocent. See people dying, say whoever perished being innocent. Or where were the righteous cut off? Listen. By the blast of the Most High, they perish. And by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. See that? Like I said, it all goes together, people. No matter how you look at it. All from the Most High. And let's go a little deeper in the spirit. Go to 2nd Ezra 8. Let me show you verse 20. Whose service is conversed in wind. Hear that? His service is conversed in wind and fire. Whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful. See? Who look drieth up the depths, and indignation maketh his mountains to melt away, which the truth witnesses. So you see, who's conversant is conversant, whose service is conversant in wind. So I say you understand what it is that's going on here. And fire. So when you look at a conversation coming from the Most High, a lot of times he brings that wind. Time you hear wind. Because he says he's conversing in wind. That's why when you see in Acts, the 2nd chapter, going to what we're looking at, we've been going over how he's conversing in wind and bringing forth the fire where he's destroying. And it also, for the balance of things, it also the wind brings forth a conversation from the Most High through the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. Look at Acts the 2nd chapter. We'll start at verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. So this is only the children of Israel, the Jews, the children of Israel. Because we're the ones that celebrate the Pentecost. It's 50 days after the Passover. So this is what we celebrate. Not no other Gentile nations and so forth. Because verse 5 says, and they were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, Israelites, devout men out of every nation under heaven. That came from all these different places where we were scattered to Jerusalem. For what? Day of Pentecost. In gathering, feast of first fruits and so forth. Verse 2. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind. Remember, the Most High is conversing in wind. And it filled all the house where they were sitting. So he's giving a conversation coming from the Most High to all those that came to the Feast of Pentecost. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. So these cloven tongues, remember, go back to 2nd Ezra 8, 8 and verse 22, whose service is conversing in wind and fire. So he's conversing, having a conversation with the apostles who are giving this conversation to the Israelites that came from all these different lands, bringing forth the word of the Most High. Because that's the conversation of words. That's what comes from the Most High in this conversation are words. Verse 3, and there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit, which is the Spirit of the Most High, and began to speak with other tongues or languages as the Spirit, which is the Holy Spirit, gave them utterance. That's what the Mashiach promised, that he would send the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, to them once he ascended to the right hand side of the Most High. And that's the 1st chapter, the 9th verse. The 2nd chapter, the 9th verse. Or the 1st chapter, the 9th verse. See? So, and then you look at Jeremiah 23 and 29, the conversation of the Most High. 23 and 29. Is not my word like as a fire? See? He's conversing with fire. As we read in 2nd Ezra 2 and 22. Is not my word like as a fire, said the Most High, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? So he uses angels that bring forth the word of the Most High's hip talk. And what do? Psalms 104 and 4. Psalms 104 and 4. Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. So ministers bring the word of the Most High, but they bring it, that's what the word of the Most High is. He's speaking It's not his word like his fire. He converts it in wind and fire. So, but it's like, hip talk. I mean, it's real though. And that's how we get the understanding through these precepts. Look at Psalms 97 and 4. His lightnings enlighteneth the world. The earth saw and trembled. See, his lightnings enlighteneth the world. The earth saw and trembled when he bring forth his lightning. So if you're trembling, what do you think you're doing? You all happy and joyful and not afraid, not scared. If you're trembling, a whole lot of lightning hitting, you don't think you're gonna be afraid? I do believe so. I do believe so. That's what I say. Bring about that fear. His lightnings enlighteneth the world. The earth saw and trembled. Look at Exodus 19. And we'll start at verse 16. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceedingly loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. So they was trembling. I mean that they were not afraid. It means they were afraid. You what it say? So that all the people that was in the camp trembled. They were afraid. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with the Most High through the angel. And they stood at the nether part of the mount. That's where they stood, at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke. Smoking, because the Most High descended upon it in fire. See? Remember, his ministers are as fire. You see? Bringing the word of the Most High. Because the Most High descended upon it in fire. He said the heavens can't contain him. So your nostrils, he blowing, the whole sea erupts, so you understand this. The earth can't contain the Most High. It says the heaven of heavens cannot contain him. So you have ministers, which are the angels, which are spirits, that represent the Most High. Verse 18, and the Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Most High descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. So the whole mountain is quaking, moving strongly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake. And the Most High answered him by a voice. And the Most High, while Mashiach came down upon Mount Sinai, on the top of the mount, the Most High through Mashiach called Moses up to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up. The Most High said unto Moses, through the angel, who is Mashiach as a spirit, go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Most High to gaze, and many of them perish, many of them die. And let the priests also which come near to the Most High sanctify themselves, lest the Most High break forth upon them and kill them. And Moses said unto the Most High, through Bahashama Mashiach, the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, set bounds about the mount, and sanctify it, set us surround a certain area, and clean this up. Remember, he told Moses, take off your shoes, for where you at is holy, because the word of the Most High is coming to him. The Most High said unto him, away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Most High, lest he break forth upon them. So Moses went down unto the people and spake unto them. Hey, he uses angels. Don't get it twisted now. He used them angels to bring forth his judgment. So I said, like I say, his spirit's ministers of fire. They bring forth the judgment of the Most High. That's why you look at Ecclesiastes 39 and 28. There be spirits, which are angels, as we read in Psalms 104 and 4. You make his angels spirits. Either say spirit or angel, same entity. There be spirits or angels that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. That's why I say, don't come near, that these angels, these spirits, gonna get you. Listen, fire and hail, we read about these things. Fire and hail, and famine, food shortages, and death, even death. People die. And by the blast of the Most High, got death angels. Some of you might not believe that. Let's look at that. Look at Psalms 78 and I think it's 49. Psalm 78, 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble. How? How did he cast upon these Egyptians the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble? By sending evil angels among them. See? By sending evil angels among them. So that's when you see these spirits, they are angels. Verse 29 of Ecclesiastes 39, it says, fire is a spirit. Or angels. Hail to these angels. And famine, we just read about how Satan said, put forth thine hand. And Satan's not righteous. He ain't, Mashiach is on the right side for righteous. Satan is on the left side for evil. Most High create evil when you read Isaiah 45 and 7. So Satan's on the left hand for the evil. That's how he destroyed them. He just by sending evil angels. We just read it. Among them. Listen, fire and hail and famine and death. Kill them with evil angels. All these were created for vengeance of the Most High. Teeth of wild beasts, spirits get into them. They say you got spirits in them. Teeth of wild beasts, and scorpions, spirits. These spirits get into these animals, scorpions, had them kill people. Serpents, poisonous snakes, and so forth. And the sword, any means of ordnance, guns, and swords, knives, swords, whatever. Machetes, 50 millimeter, atomic bombs, nuclear bombs, whatever. That's swords. Punishing the wicked to destruction. Now I was going to tell you where they at. They shall rejoice in his commandments. See, these angels, these spirits, they rejoice. They happy to bring forth the commandment of the Most High. And you got people talking about we ain't got to follow the commandments of the Most High. When these spirits are here, where they at? And they shall be ready upon earth. They right here on the earth, people. Right where we're at. Right around you right now. Right around you right now. Wherever you are. You don't think so? Let me show you what the Mashiach Abishai made. Through the power of the Most High. Hold that. Let's finish this. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. When the Most High needs them. They're going to be right on the earth. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. They're not going to transgress his word. They're not going to do anything but the vengeance of the Most High. Understand this. Look, let me just show you. Go to Colossians. Go to the book of Colossians. The first chapter. And let's look at verse 16. Concerning the Mashiach Yahushua. For by him were all things created that are in heaven. That's the angels in heaven. And that are in earth. Everything that's in earth. Visible. Meaning things that you can see with your naked eye. And invisible. Things that you cannot see. See that? For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in the earth, visible and invisible. Whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. See? And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Because the Most High created a Mashiach Abishai first and had a Mashiach Abishai create everything. Through the power of the Most High. So he made things visible and invisible. So a lot of these times you don't know these angels around you because you're not in the spirit to be able to recognize things. But when you start seeing them materialize in certain things, you sitting there and you see something sit next to you and you see the indication of the seat go down. And you know it's something there because it's nothing that you see visible with the naked eye. See, a lot of you haven't seen these things, therefore you don't believe and have faith and believe what it says here. But a lot of us have been visited all our life with these type of things. So knowing that there are things that are visible and invisible. Esau know it. That's why he goes to different cartoons, Casper the Friendly Ghost and all that stuff. That stuff is real. All the movies that they make, because he be dealing with them. Better recognize. So I say they all around you. Waiting on the commandment of the Most High. Say, wow, that's why sometimes it might get someone, but don't even deal with you. Or it might deal with you, don't deal with somebody else. The Most High showing them favor, not showing you favor. Go to Jeremiah the 10th chapter. Jeremiah 10 and verse 13. Jeremiah 10 and 13. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens. You hear that? It's everything come from the waters. When the Most High uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens. And he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightnings with rain. That's why it rains. You see that lightning come through. And bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. See? This is from the Most High. He does these things. Look at Job 38 and 34. El Nino. This ain't no El Nino. La Nina. Mother Nature. No, the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is our power. This is our power. The Most High. Look at Job 38 in verse 33 and 34. Knowest thou the ordinances of heaven? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth? No, because the Most High ruleth in this earth. Canst thou lift up thy voice to the clouds? Can you lift up your voice to the clouds? You see the clouds up there? And make them change? That abundance of waters may cover thee? Can you look up to the clouds? And you see the clouds, they're just regular clouds, and say, I want those to be rain clouds and rain upon me. I don't think so. Only the Most High. That's from the Most High, people. That's from our power. Look at Psalms 104. Psalms 104 and 7. At thy rebuke, they fled. At the voice of thy thunder, they hastened away. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine you could be at war and the Most High start to rebuke the enemy and they start running away from you. You see, at the voice of thy thunder, they hasten away. See, it thunders so loud beyond any noise you ever heard. Just so loud that we actually, we hear thunder to the point where it makes us be still. But when you hear thunder and you know that the Most High is fighting for Israel just from his voice. Remember, thunder was his voice. And the enemy hear thunder so loud they run away. Flee away from us. Or it busts their eardrums. They never hear again. That's the power we serve. His voice. Leave my people alone. Head just bust open. From thunder. They run away. Like I say, some of you know, if you're in the places where Most High really thunder loud, pay attention, you start sitting still. Let me sit still. The fear of the Most High, being afraid of Him, comes upon you. And wherever you at, you just pull over. Sit still. About everything stop. Or you look back, you see where it's at, you see that lightning and thunder coming, you trying to get away from it. But if it's right there where you at, most people gonna just pull over. Been there, done that. You just sit still. You ain't trying to do nothing. Sit your butt down somewhere. And give glory to the Most High. People tell you more in a minute. Hey, sit your butt over there and sit down. Be quiet. Junior, you don't have to tell people that. I mean, when you hear that thunder, that's a spirit, man. That's a spirit. You ain't Julie got to tell nobody to be quiet or sit still. Children be running up under you, especially they ain't used to it. Be real loud. You be speaking. Listen. Psalms 29:3. The voice of the Most High is upon the waters. The Most High of glory thundereth. Most High is upon many waters. Okay? And think about how He allowed that rain to come down and keep coming down and keep coming down and keep coming down and keep coming down. That's how you know the levees overflow, the dams overflow. Too much rain. No matter how they try to hold it back. The most I got that rain come down in abundance. Like He's doing in California. California experienced that much rain. You heard the song "It Never Rained in California." That's real. Hardly ever rain out here. That's why they're saying there's a drought out here. Now they're getting so much rain. Oh yeah, you want some rain? Okay, most I said, I'll give you some rain. You know, you bring that wind with that rain, like little tornadoes. See all these trees being, giant trees coming out of the ground and just falling over on houses and trucks I've seen, you know, and you can look at the news, you see it's happening everywhere. That's the power of the Most High, people. He bringing forth His judgment. Exodus 9. Go to Exodus, the 9th chapter. And 28. Exodus 9 and 28. Entreat the Most High, for it is enough, that there be no more mighty thunderings in hell, and I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. What Pharaoh said, hey, Moses, go to the Most High, go to your power. Because his idols, all his idolatry that he's dealing with, the musicians and all that, they can't stop that. Entreat the Most High. Well, it is enough. It's enough. I've had enough. Remember, the Most High hardened his heart. He hardened his mind. So He wouldn't let us go. So the Most High can give him a name. It's like He's going to do in His kingdoms that we scattered among in this time. He's going to get him a name by the destruction and all the things He's going to bring about upon this earth, that He may get the recognition forever and ever and ever. Everybody gonna know of the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and of Mashiach Yahushua, because he allowing him to judge for 1,000 years, people. Then he gonna be subject to the Most High, and the Most High gonna be all in all forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That's why I tell you it's all about him, because in the end, and forever and ever and ever, he's gonna be all in all. Not everybody else. No one else but him. See? Look at verse 27. And Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron and said unto them, I have sinned this time. The Most High is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. So, who is his people? The Egyptians, these Hamites, so-called Africans. What do he say? I have sinned this time. The Most High is righteous. You're giving praise to the Most High, and I and my people are wicked. Because the plagues were coming on the Egyptians and not we, the children of Israel. So, but it didn't matter because he still continued to be wicked like his people. He's telling you, the Egyptians are wicked. The Pharaoh, their leaders, are wicked. He just said it. They sin against the Most High. Like, we as a people have sinned against the Most High, therefore he brought the plagues or the curses upon us as the children of Israel. So he said he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart, his mind. Look, verse 29. And Moses said unto him, as soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands unto the Most High. Pray unto the Most High, cry unto the Most High, and the thunder shall cease, neither shall there be any more hail. See? We were just reading about how the Most High brought this upon the Egyptians, thunder and hail. It scared them. I mean, here it is right here. Look at verse 23. And Moses stretched forth his hand, his rod, toward heaven, and the Most High sent thunder and hail. And the fire ran along upon the ground, and the Most High rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So that's lightning and thunder, great noise, hail and fire. That's the lightning that ran along upon the ground, and the Most High rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in the land of Egypt since it became a nation. And the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that was in the field, both man and beast. And the hail smote every herb of the field, and brake every tree of the field. Only in the land of Goshen, where we were as the children of Israel, where the children of Israel were, was there no hail. So he's doing this among these Egyptians, and where we were at, there was no destructive elements, so the angels bringing forth the destruction or the vengeance of the Most High. And that's how it's going to be for those that's going to follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, his rules and regulations, have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua in these last days that he get a name that's going to last forever and ever and ever. That's why I behoove you to hear and understand the solutions and the things that are written that's going to help us to be able to make it to these trying times, these perilous times, dangerous times. Those that's going to follow truly his commandments and loving Jacob as he loved us, and coming back to the Most High with all that heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and loving thy neighbor as thyself. All the commandments, 613 commandments, are based upon those two principles. how we serve the Most High and how we serve each other. But you see, nothing happened to the Israelites, but everything was happening to these Egyptians that had us in captivity. And some of the ones that have us in captivity know. Now, go back here and look at the point of us being in captivity under the Egyptians and what the Most High did to them, while he cried to the ones, the leaders, the ones that have us in this oppressive state, telling them they have the children of Israel in captivity still. They still oppressing the children of Israel still. And these plagues will come upon them. And they know they're going to come upon them too. Because the righteous and the wicked of the Israelites went into captivity regardless if they were righteous or not. So the same thing you see here, with these plagues upon the Egyptians and not upon the Israelites, the same thing we're going to see in our time. Most High will. Or you're going to see, somebody going to see it, or the Israelites. They're going to live to see this. Hopefully it's us. Verse 34. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunder were ceased, he sinned yet more. Remember what he said in verse 27? And Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron and said unto them, I have sinned this time. The Most High is righteous. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean a thing. That's why when y'all going out dealing with all these other nations and trying to get them to see what it is that we see as the children of Israel, hear what he said? He said, I have sinned this time. The Most High is righteous. And the Most High is righteous. And I and my people are wicked. He already said he's wicked. They're wicked. The leaders and the people are wicked. He just said it. What did he do? Once the hail and the thunder and the lightning stopped. Verse 34, and when Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more and hardened his heart, he and his servants. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, neither would he let the children of Israel go, as the Most High has spoken by Moses. See? And that's what you got to look at, how the Most High have his hand in everything. He sinned more, knowing that the Most High is righteous. So, I'm going to stop there. Hope that was edifying to the body. Mashak Yahushua. Shalom.